Welcome all, and today we are continuing the part 5 of the book Dopamine Detox,
Yeah.
and this is about doing the work and overcoming procrastination. So, we have already discussed how to plan the day and how it is beneficial to overcome the challenges that we face, which leads to procrastination that we have already discussed. And how to plan our day, that also author has given few insights. Today we will continue from the action steps that we need to take in order to accomplish this. So using your action guide or a separate sheet of paper, write down your daily and weekly goal. This is the first step. So schedule one major task to work on each morning, that we discussed also. One
Yeah.
major task at least, at minimum, we need to take each morning, not in the afternoon or in the evening. While there are thousands of books on productivity, only a few principles matter. I believe the most important one is to identify your key task and tackle it as the first thing in the morning, and do this consistently. Means repeat that, take one task and continue accomplishing that each morning. Even though you might have a never ending to do list, it's true for everyone. We have a never ending to do list that always keeps populating. There
Hmm.
are always a few major tasks that, when completed, will skyrocket your productivity. And this we have discussed as per, it is also true as per 80-20 rule. There are few major tasks, even though the to do list is lot,
Lot.
yeah, major tasks are less. That is a good news. Unless you can complete them, nothing else will really matter. The key to productivity can be summarized in three words: focus, consistency, and impact.
Mhm.
These are the three important pillars, we can say, of the productivity, key to productivity. So let's discuss one by one. First is focus. Focus is what? Focus is our ability to maintain our concentration and avoid distraction. Ability to maintain the concentration and avoid distraction or procrastination tendency while working on that particular task, on a particular task. Simplest definition, but very powerful. But concentration, I have a better definition, and that is aligned with the Raj Yog, and that is more meaningful, and easily we can concentrate if we understand how to do that. We'll discuss that also later.
Yeah.
So, as per author, we understood what is the definition of focus. And then comes consistency. Consistency means developing the habit of working on your key task every day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. So this is like continuously working, habit of working on the key task continuously. That is a key here. And the third one is impact. Impact means identifying your key tasks, the ones that have the greatest impact on your long-term success. The ones that have the greatest impact. We need to choose those kind of tasks at the beginning of the day that has impact on the long term. So generally, the task which gives delayed gratification, which falls into that category, they have more impact. And the short term gratification or instant gratification kind of task are generally short lived and not having more meaningful consequences. So, and working on them as often as possible is the key here. Impactful task. Productivity can be defined as having consistent focus on your most impactful task. Now, let's see what you can do specifically to stay focused on your most important task each day. Okay, what you can do specifically to stay focused. First is develop leisure sharp focus. How to do it? Your ability to develop leisure sharp focus is one of the most important things you can do to improve your productivity. By focusing on your key task consistently for just 45 minutes daily, that is nothing but Pomodoro session. We can also do 25
Yeah.
minutes Pomodoro to start with. You can make more progress than you can with almost anything else could be doing instead. In fact, I would say 45 minutes is more meaningful because 25 minutes again, those shorter periods are good if we have smaller tasks in more numbers. But if we have any deep work to do, then 45 minutes burst or sprints are really beneficial, because otherwise if we are doing in a shorter burst, then by the time we achieve the flow state, again we are taking break. By the time we are actually close to like avoiding the distraction and flow state, again if we are taking break, then we are breaking it. So 45 minutes, even to this extent of 1 or 15 minutes, is also good if there is some R&D kind of activity and we see ourselves in already flow state mode. That is the key point. If not, then taking a break makes sense. In this section, we will discuss specific things you can do to build your focus and complete your key task each day. First one says be at the same place at the same time every day. Be at the same place and at the same time every day. As we mentioned before, a simple daily routine will help you condition your mind. This is the first thing that we must do. And same place, same time is also very, very important, because that's the ritual kind of that kind of vibration that gives, it's immense. That is why actually in office also we see that we have very uh, similar or fixed time slot when we should start, fixed time slot for all the meetings, fixed place we sit. So this also boils down to the same principle, by which actually we get better impact. And another reason why it is more meaningful, because our mind also gets wild. Less decision we need to take.
Yeah.
And mind is also kind of, all the neurons are wired together to fire together. So, so this is very important. One thing that will strengthen your routine is to be at the same place at the same time each day. The famous writer Stephen King sits at his desk every day at the same time and writes. He does not wait for inspiration to come. Instead, he starts knowing that inspiration will come as he immerses himself in his work. Many people actually think in the other way. They wait for the inspiration to come and after that they want to start, which is just the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, it's illusion. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yes. Do the same thing. Choose a time and place where you will be tackling your major task each day. Then practice doing it one day at a time, and you will gradually build your consistency and focus. Remember, productivity is nothing more than focusing on your most impactful task and doing so consistently. See, all the 3 points actually kind of covered here. So, productivity is nothing but focusing. That is the first point. Most impactful task. That is the third point that we discussed. And
Yeah.
consistency. That is the second point that we have
Second.
discussed.
Yeah.
So, this is actually the key definition that encompasses all the 3 points here. What about you? Where will you be when you dedicate time to do? 1 minute. Hmm. Where will you do when you dedicate time to do your most important work, and when will you start? This is a reflective question that we need to ask. And this is also very important. If you remember, Melinda, we have discussed this also many times in our Saturday inner circle, wherein I always say that it is less important or less meaningful to set the goal, but what matters the most is divide it into smaller steps and decide a particular time on a daily basis which particular smaller task we want to accomplish. So the date or the time and the place and the task, small task, that has to be fixed and should be repetitive in nature in a consistent manner. That brings the difference. If I have not set a particular place and particular time for the smallest possible task that I want to do, very likely we will not be able to do. So going forward, the second point is choose a trigger. Yeah, we have discussed also this one, and we call this as a habit stacking. With habit stacking also we can accomplish similar kind of effect using a trigger. So here author is saying you can, as you create your routine, choose a specific trigger. It could be making tea and sitting at your desk, or it could be completing your meditation session, then sitting at your desk. So we need to stack. This is also called habit stacking. Try to select a trigger that will help calm your mind, right? When you are relaxed, you will find it easier to begin your work. So we have decided this Saturday night that to this trigger is our trigger is Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. Before starting any task, we will be having this trigger and calm that will calm down our body and mind and spirit all together, all three. Focus
Yeah,
will
that is the best. Yeah.
yeah. So our trigger is also kind of fixed. We do not need to overthink कि क्या trigger लेना है.
Yeah. Any external. Yeah.
Yeah. Then when you are relaxed, you will find it easier to begin to work. What about you? What activity could kickstart your daily routine? So we have already decided. So our triggers are also ready. We are fortunate. We are just following it. No need to decide again. Then the third step is getting started. Once you have created your routine and identified your trigger, get started. This is the main, very important point. If you can start work on your task for a few minutes, you will likely build enough momentum to keep going. You might even experience flow. Yes, and that's the target actually. We want to experience the flow. Named by the psychologist Mihail, the flow is a mental state in which you are so fully immersed in an activity that you become hyper focused while experiencing a sense of underlying enjoyment. So the definition is given of the flow state. So flow is nothing but a mental state. First, he is saying flow is a mental state in which we are so fully immersed in an activity that you become hyper focused. In a hyper focused manner, we achieve the hyper focus while experiencing a sense of underlying enjoyment. So, the more we experience the enjoyment, that interest automatically keeps us more immersed in the task. So, it is complementing each other. Again, the more relaxed you are, the easier it will be to focus. And for that, we have already identified the activity that can relax us, make us focused before we start our activity. So just get started and don't worry about completing your task perfectly. It may not happen. It is not our job to worry. It will happen automatically. Actually, it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
This is exactly because this is exactly the point which definitely I want to ask at the end. But yeah, this is the author touched that particular line because whenever I start anything, normally in the office work,
Mm,
because work keep on coming, you keep
mm,
on doing, and it seems like definitely you chunk down the work, you get focused on the current task and all that, but still there is a thought at the background that ye kabhi khatam hoga. You know, so that particular thought actually many times trigger me, and then फिर focus ये हो जाता है, saying that oh अभी ये कभी खत्म होगा. So it is like if you are preparing for marathon, तो ये कब खत्म होगा. So there is no ending to it, and basically that is our earning this thing, right? So you can't stay away from the work. So yeah, but I think this book is addressing that part, that yes, it will finish on its time. It will finish. They say so
Yeah.
many projects, yes, did definitely they got closed, they got finished off. So this will, but just enjoy the present moment and do
Process.
whatever. Yeah. So that is, I think, I'm working on that.
Yeah. And another thing which will definitely help if you would like another perspective here
Uh-huh.
is again it is from Bhagavad Gita, wherein actually Krishna says, Lord Krishna says that it is in our hand to do the work perfectly, but the fruit of the work, that means the failure, the success, or when it will be complete,
Whatever.
when
Uh-huh.
I'll get the fruit, all those things are not in our jurisdiction.
Yeah.
It is only the work that we need to do perfectly that is in our jurisdiction, and we should focus on that. Rest
Yeah.
part, just surrender to the divine, to the God
Yeah.
Almighty,
Yeah.
and let it happen. Let it come, and the best will come automatically when we are so detached,
Yeah.
and that detachment we are doing. So a
Yeah.
little spiritual angle I have
No,
understood
that is
from that.
exactly because that is exactly the exact solution which I'm thinking of this one. Because now what's happening is, organization, as I addressed you yesterday, seeing there are lots of redundancy and this thing, and yes, the companies, the world or different is going through that cycle. Now what's happening is, company wants to take more and more project, to get the
Mm,
profitable business. Okay,
mm,
so they are asking, definitely asking everyone to do more, you know or handle more projects. And there are some of the areas which is not still in my boundaries, but yeah, they are actually pushing those projects to us. And I worked on those projects previously 3-4 years back, so I have those kind of experiences. So this is just my projection, negative projection, which hampers me, in that set you start thinking about it, saying that, oh, if this thing comes, then what, so this is again kind of negative thinking. But what you said, that is actually solution, which, yeah, I'm working on that one. That is, there is no point in thinking about that because it is not yet come. So better to work on the current, what is present in our hand, and just focus. And definitely you just mentioned the spiritual aspect, how to look at the work, and just detach from the outcome. जो होना है होके रहेगा, yeah, you're right, yeah. Thanks for adding that. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Then author is saying it's okay if you do not feel motivated or creative. Taking action will generate motivation and stimulate your creativity. So the main point is taking action. When we take action, automatically the motivation and the creativity will eventually flow. And then we'll discuss about eliminating how to eliminating the distraction and working without interruption tomorrow with the action steps, and maybe tomorrow we will be able to finish this
Yeah.
chapter
Work
also.
with that. Yeah.
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 Anything else you want to add? Please go ahead.
Yeah, Srikon, yeah, thanks for picking up this particular book, because yeah, it is actually extension and very detailed version of what mentioned is atomic habit and hyper focus. These books use more clarity and very step by step approach. In those books, there are only chapters around this one. Yes, they talk about the environment setup and all that, but this book, a small one, but nice to kind of like next to your decks, to follow the step by step. And it good that we are discussing and implementing it. So it is helpful, because that is just I mentioned to you, I'm currently going through that situation, a little bit uncertainties. And definitely for that, the best way is actually finding the spiritual aspect of the same task, how you can handle it without getting attached to it, and getting your work done. And yeah, it's happening, so it's good. Thanks for that solution. Yeah, yeah, I'll focus
Thank
on that.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Melindy. So catch you again tomorrow
yeah. Okay, we'll see,
and
we'll
have
meet
a
it. Sure.
great day.
Thank you, have a nice day. Bye bye.